Daniel, who's on a roll at the moment, who's very confident.
Another hard fight for him, by the way.
I was just going to say, he's not got another. When was the last time he had an easy job?
Precisely.
Parker Dubois. I fancy Parker. He's not an underdog in this fight. Everyone makes out as though he's a massive underdog.
I just think that Daniel Dubois is going to be a step too far for him. I don't think it's a formality, but I do think that Daniel will win, and I do think that he'll stop him.
Boxing experts are split on the upcoming Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker fight. Peter Fury predicts a back-and-forth battle, where the outcome could go either way. He believes Dubois may end it quickly, or Parker could take control. Fury acknowledges both fighters' power and resilience, making it an unpredictable and explosive showdown.
Paul obviously made a lot of names in the division, Mike Tyson, whatever else, but a certain Carl Froch's coming out saying, listen, I'll fight you, I'll give my money to charity. Is that something you'd like to see, Peter?
You know what, I wish Jake Paul all the very best. He looks a very, very nice kid, but I'm here for boxing, I'm in for nothing else, so I'm into real boxing.
Actually, before I let you go, 2 predictions I need from yourself next week in Riyadh, big card. Daniel Dubois, Joseph Parker.
Yeah, I can swing anyway, I'm not sitting on the fence. Obviously, it's a bigger puncher, Dubois. He's got to be on his A game, he's got to miss, make him slip and make him pay. I'm sure they know what they're doing. And I think if he can catch Dubois as well, he'll hurt him. So I think that is a genuine seesaw backwards and forwards. It could either go very quick in Dubois' favour, or it could be a different match. He could start getting his jab home, landing shots, picking shots now and again, and wearing Dubois down for a point win even, or even a late stoppage maybe.
Anthony Joshua expressed determination, stating he's hungry for success. With a focused mindset, he aims to reclaim his spot at the top of the heavyweight division. His drive and commitment show he's ready for any challenge, proving he still has much to achieve.
Yeah, I'm still hungry for more success and more victories, more belts. So I still feel like the underdog, and in my mind, I'm going out there to, still same mentality and still the same old dog and make it a dog fight out.
Joseph Parker confidently fired back at Daniel Dubois, stating, "I'm a better boxer than him." He emphasized his experience, skill, and preparation, making it clear he's fully ready for the challenge. Parker aims to prove his superiority in the ring, dismissing Dubois' prediction of an early knockout.
Is high in confidence, and he should be with the performances he put on, but I've been working very, very hard quietly in New Zealand. I went to Ireland and trained, and now I'm here in Saudi Arabia, and I've been waiting for this opportunity, I've been waiting for this chance, and been waiting for a big fight. So this is my time now to go out there and show everyone what I've been doing while I've been waiting for a fight, and it's my chance to be 2-time world champion. So I'm taking with both hands. I'm very excited for this opportunity, and I know Daniel Dubois is going to come ready, but I am as well.
A lot of the build-up programming on all platforms is out there now, and one of the big statements that you made is you suggested, quite openly, that if the going gets tough.
I do believe I'm a better boxer, but he has shown grit, he's shown toughness, he's shown he does the basics very well. But I do believe that my boxing IQ and toughness as well, and I got a good chin. It shouldn't be tested, or hopefully not tested with Dubois landing good shots, but it'll be tested come February 22, because with Zhang and Wilder, they were good fights, but Dubois throws way more punches, he comes forward, a lot more pressure, and he throws punches and bunches, so we're prepared for that version of what he's going to bring.
Simon Jordan praised Joseph Parker for his professionalism, both inside and outside the ring, highlighting his respectful and level-headed approach. He noted that while Parker doesn't engage in excessive trash talk, he stands his ground when necessary. Despite recognizing Parker's skills, Jordan predicted that Daniel Dubois would be too much for him. He emphasized that while it won't be an easy fight, he expects Dubois to win, likely by stoppage. Jordan's analysis reflects his belief that Dubois' power and ability will ultimately prove decisive in the match.
I thought he spoke very well, Simon.
He always does.
He always does. He's always very fair. He's never trying to point score in a discussion. He's always straight on the level, which I like about Joseph.
No, he is. I mean, he's a top-class operator in all aspects, both in the ring and outside of the ring. And so you find yourself in a situation when you listen to Joseph Parker that there's not a lot of trash talking that goes on. He can have a go, and he did the other day in the face-off when they had a little bit back and forward with Daniel Dubois with Adi Oladipo on DAZN. But most of the time you get sensible conversation with him. He's very respectful. He's also a very good fighter. I just think that Daniel Dubois is going to be a step too far for him. I don't think it's a formality, but I do think that Daniel will win, and I do think that he'll stop him.
I think it's very fair to say that they've both come into their own in recent times.
Indeed.
I think that Joseph Parker, you have to go back to, what was it, 2016, when he won that world heavyweight title, against Andy Ruiz. It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride for him, but he's in form at the moment.
Andy Lee's a big difference, isn't he?
Deontay Wilder, Andy Lee has made a huge difference, not just physically, but mentally as well with him. And I think he now believes in himself. And that's what we're seeing in these interviews now, where he comes out, speaks very well. He used to be quite shy and reserved.
I thought he was pretty outspoken when he fought Anthony Joshua in 2018. He told everybody what he was going to bring to the fight, and he was very on the front foot. Obviously, the fact that he couldn't deliver it and the referee didn't help.
Carl Froch analysed the upcoming clash between Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker, acknowledging Parker's credentials as a former champion. While he leaned toward Dubois as his pick to win, Froch didn't discount Parker's strength and experience. He admitted that if Dubois were to lose, it would be considered an upset, but also noted that upsets do happen in boxing, and Parker has the skill set to pull it off. Jay Upataya also weighed in, emphasizing that both Dubois and Parker are world-class fighters. He dismissed critics who underestimated Parker, stating that those who believed Parker wasn't a top-level competitor simply didn't understand boxing. Upataya reinforced that Parker has earned his place in the division and should not be overlooked.
What do you think that Parker can do to take advantage, perhaps maybe of Dubois' overconfidence coming into this fight? What do you think that he could do to mentally prepare so he can take that win?
I don't think he's overconfident, man. All this press conference, all this shit, bro, this is a talk. This is for you guys. They're fighters. They're world champions. You know what I mean? They know what they're doing. Don't let these words fool you. They win world titles for a reason, and Parker's been there too. I feel like this fight we're going to be the best. We're going to see the best version of both of them. So it's exciting.
A boxing professional shared his perspective, favoring Joseph Parker in this matchup due to his stylistic advantage over Dubois. He highlighted Parker's experience against elite competition, mentioning victories over top-tier fighters like Deontay Wilder. The professional believes Parker's past success suggests he has the tools to trouble Dubois in the ring.
Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker. This is the tale of two careers. Both were written off. Dubois gets stopped by Usyk. Joseph Parker gets stopped by Joe Joyce. They're both on win streaks, resurrecting their career. Daniel Dubois recently just knocked out Anthony Joshua. Joseph Parker has reinvented himself, beating veterans like Deontay Wilder and Big Bang Zhang. Don't be surprised if this is a real fight and Joseph Parker gives Daniel Dubois a lot of problems, because stylistically, Joseph Parker matches up great for Daniel Dubois, in my opinion.
Dave Caldwell expressed confidence in Joseph Parker, stating that his diverse skill set could pose problems for Daniel Dubois. He mentioned, "I fancy Parker," emphasizing that Parker's abilities could create difficulties for Dubois. Caldwell made it clear that if Parker were to win, it wouldn't shock him, as he sees Parker as a strong contender in the fight.
Parker Dubois. I fancy Parker. He's not an underdog in this fight. Everyone makes out as though he's a massive underdog. I'm not saying Dubois can't beat him or isn't going to beat him, but I'm saying I can see so many ways how so many assets that Parker has that can cause Dubois a lot of problems. And if Parker wins, I'm not going to be shocked.
Eddie Hearn weighed in on the fight, stating that Joseph Parker rightfully deserves this opportunity on February 22nd. He acknowledged Parker's hard work and experience, recognizing that Parker has earned his place in this high-stakes matchup. Hearn's endorsement reinforces Parker's status as a legitimate contender.
Would you like to see Eddie?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I would like to see him win a world title. But it's a very tough division. There's a lot of action out in Japan as well. Hopefully, after the crowd tonight and the show, we could bring a world championship to Birmingham.
Brilliant. As you can see, we're getting into the card. Can I ask you two quick ones? Gavin Green, robbed on the scorecards, do you think?
I don't think robbed. I thought he won 6-4. And I said to Cat, I always back my fighters, but I'm not going to lie. I thought it was a very close fight that Gavin Gwynn deserved to edge. When I got in the ring, I thought maybe he can squeeze a draw. but he didn't. And I thought to not get one scorecard or not get a split or not get even a draw on a scorecard, he'll probably feel hard done by. We must do the rematch, but also acknowledge that Cameron Bond took a big step up early in his career and he should be respected for that.
Callum Smith-Botsy next.
I hope so. You know, good to get the rounds in tonight. I think that's one of the top fights in British boxing. Fingers crossed.
Brilliant. Very last one, Eddie. Oh, sorry. Very last one. Joseph Parker, Daniel Dubois, February 22nd.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, look.
Has AJ stepped aside for that? Or?
No, I mean, he's not got to step aside. He's just not ready for February 22nd. So Daniel will have another fight. If that's Joseph, I think he more than deserves it.
Brilliant. Take care, Eddie.
Richie Woodhull offered a balanced assessment, calling the fight a tough one to predict. He praised Parker's significant improvements, especially his speed, defensive skills, and overall boxing ability. However, Woodhull also acknowledged Dubois' greatness and ultimately picked him as the likely winner, despite recognizing Parker's strengths.
Weeks away now. Do you have a favourite? Do you have a pick, an opinion, Richard?
Tough fight to call because Parker has improved so much over these last 3 or 4 fights. Got the speed back, you know, and he's a really good boxer. But then you have to give a lot of credit to Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois has come through some really good contests where he keeps improving, and I think he'll improve again. So if I had to go one way or the other, I'd probably just edge towards Dubois. Great jab, and I felt that jab taking him on the pads many times. Real good kid. Decent boxer, a lot of power in his right hand, but also the left hook on the inside is probably his hidden punch that's the real danger shot. So I'd probably just edge towards Daniel, to be honest.
Just last one on that then. A lot of people have said to me about they can see Daniel either winning it within the first half of the fight, but if he hits the second half of the fight, it could be Joe Parker taking over. Do you agree with that sentiment?
That's it, yeah, I think. But having said that, I think Daniel's beginning to manage the rounds a lot better now. He's not like that early Daniel Dubois where he went off a little bit too quick. He now seems to have settled down. He's getting more seasoned, so he's handling the 12 rounds a lot better. But yeah, I'd probably agree with it in that Daniel's going to be really dangerous in the first half of the fight. And for me, Joseph Parker will have to avoid a lot of shots early and then probably try and get Daniel in the later stages of the contest. But if he goes on those tactics, he could come unstuck because, like I say, I think Daniel Dubois manages a contest a lot better now.
Richie, as always, it's a pleasure. Safe travels home. I'll see you soon.
All the best, Dan.
A boxing pro analyzed Dubois' approach, noting that he often becomes eager to unleash his powerful right hand. He recalled how Dubois' right hand nearly affected Anthony Joshua in their fight, suggesting he would likely use a similar strategy against Parker. The pro also highlighted Dubois' aggressive jab and underrated footwork as key weapons in this matchup.
I can see pros and cons for both fighters here, obviously. Daniel Dubois, physically so strong, punches so hard with both hands, and the way he's just grabbing fights by the scruff of the neck now, concentrating on what he does as opposed to what his opponent does, has been so impressive. And against Anthony Joshua, I mean, that right hand was just thunderous. Every time he caught AJ, he just put a dent in the big Londoner. And I think that is something that he's going to have to try and do in this fight. He's got to try and look for that right hand. First things first, I think he needs to try and establish a rhythm with the jab. Get behind the jab, be aggressive on the front foot, and when he lets the right hand go, he's got to bring that front foot in. Every now and again, he's so eager to let the right hand go that he forgets to bring the feet in. And I've said this before, and lots of people, top analysts have said this, the footwork of Daniel Dubois is a little bit underrated. Very cute in the way that he slides in and out of range, but it's so important that your eagerness to let the hands go is mirrored with your feet. You've got to be very aggressive on those feet, because what you don't want to be doing is falling over that front foot. Someone like Parker is smart enough, experienced enough to look for the counter shot, so he needs to be careful that he doesn't get caught with a right hand of his own. Parker, very good at taking his head off the line and looping over a big right hand. Lots of variation in the shot, so it's important that Daniel Dubois brings his feet in behind the jab and throws a nice solid right hand. Even aim for this area and hope that your opponent's going to slip down. But I think the way that he's just physically imposing himself into fights is so impressive.
Martin Bull shared his prediction, siding with Joseph Parker. He cited Parker's greater experience, speed, and hand movement as key reasons for his belief that Parker has the edge. Bull sees Parker's superior boxing fundamentals as an advantage over Dubois in this matchup. Richard Riek BGE analyzed the fight, noting Daniel Dubois' confidence and strong body language, highlighting that Dubois knows his own capabilities. He acknowledged Joseph Parker as a dangerous fighter, particularly after his significant improvements from training with Tyson Fury. Riek praised Parker's explosiveness, intelligence, and resilience in defeating top fighters. However, he warned against underestimating Dubois, calling him a dangerous opponent. Ultimately, Riek saw the fight as a 50-50 matchup, with both fighters having strong attributes.
Dubois against Joseph Parker. I wonder how you see that fight going. A lot of people are thinking that Parker has a real chance, and I'm framing it as an upset, but in their minds it wouldn't be. I wonder if you've seen a whole new confidence in Daniel Dubois since he knocked out Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a different type of mindset. You can see his body language. He looks like he knows exactly who he is, what he's capable of. Daniel Parker, on the other hand, he is a very dangerous man. He's changed a lot in his camp. I saw an interview of him. He went to stay with Tyson Fury in his house. Tyson Fury put him up. He gave him everything he needed to help develop him even further. And I feel like that's probably going to be a big telltale sign in the result of this fight. He's just explosive, he's fast, he's smart, he's come through big fights, big wins. Zhang, Wilder, nobody thought he would do it. He was just always the underdog, and he's got the perfect momentum for him to do what he needs to do in this fight. But at the same time, he can't overlook Daniel Dubois. We know what he brings. He's a very dangerous fighter. And I feel, me personally, if you're going to ask my opinion, I think it's a 50-50.
The heavyweight division is unpredictable. Joseph Parker was stopped by someone who stopped Dubois, who was then stopped twice by Zhang, whom Parker just defeated. This proves that styles make fights and anything can happen. Parker exclusively discussed his mindset ahead of the fight, emphasizing a balanced approach to training. He explained that while big fights often lead to increased intensity, he is treating this bout like any other, maintaining focus on endurance, power, and speed. Parker highlighted the importance of staying present in training rather than overthinking the occasion.
Different feeling going into this one?
Well, that's what I would say back then, when the fight is bigger, or if it's in a bigger fight or a bigger event, you tend to change up the training. You train more, or you train harder. It's not to say that you weren't training hard before, but I think with this fight, we're just treating it as another fight, obviously the championship of the world. But everything we've been doing leading into the fight has been, I feel, has been very good. We've seen benefits of it in training, endurance, power, speed, and I think we're just keeping it the same. It's the same as the other fights, so we're just staying focused and staying on top of what we need to do.
Yeah, it's interesting what you say there, because I think a term that's used in football, especially when it comes to big matches, is play the game, not the occasion. Do you sort of subscribe to that in boxing as well? Like, is it important to sort of let's not ignore how big this fight is, but as you say, like, important to just sort of focus it on it as any other fight? Yeah, I mean, if you look too far ahead to the fight, you sort of miss out on the process of and what you're trying to achieve, and that's to give every day the best that you can to prepare for the fight. The fight will come eventually, and if you can do everything right in camp in terms of training, eating, resting, recovery, when the fight comes, the result will take care of itself. So I think as maturity has sort of come towards my way, I feel like I'm finding it a bit more comfort and more understanding of what I'm doing,
Promoter Frank Warren spoke highly of the fight, calling it a fabulous matchup. He emphasized Daniel Dubois' confidence at this stage of his career and predicted that Dubois would continue his momentum. Warren's enthusiasm reflects the significance of this bout in the heavyweight division, marking a major step in the heavyweight title picture. Joseph Parker had previously claimed he would fight the winner of Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois, and with Dubois securing the victory, Parker now gets his chance. Several boxing experts weighed in on the fight, cautioning against writing off Parker. They highlighted that Parker has repeatedly demonstrated the ability to neutralize dangerous punches with his boxing intelligence. His ability to counter serious power makes him a live underdog in this matchup, capable of causing real problems for Dubois.
He has proven how to take away the threat of serious power in the way that he boxes. Obviously, Daniel Dubois, we know he's got some serious power, but
are you talking about Wilder in this instance?
Zhang got a lot of power as well.
Yeah, okay.
And Zhang's hands are actually quite fast.
Yeah, they're very fast.
But his hands are quite rapid. Parker proved in those two fights that he can box to a game plan, stick to a game plan, and obviously execute a game plan. Now, the Dubois thing is an interesting one because Dubois is quicker than the pair of them that we've just been speaking about, right? And he also carries that power. Yeah. Do not back against Joseph Parker in this fight because he could nullify this bomb. He could defuse this bomb and he could throw the cat amongst the pigeons with this particular fight. I agree with you. I think Dubois is the favourite going into the fight given the run that he's currently on. But Parker's tail will be up.
He's a live underdog.
He's earned
for
this
sure.
opportunity and he could go in there and nullify this and absolutely blow the whole thing.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more next time.